Hey, keep the beat playing, J.O.
I hail my brothers. Y'all suck out the frankincense burner. As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
Frankincense and myrrh smells so good, had to put it on my shirt. But better than that, it's the word. I used to live so absurd, bending every curve with the slur of my word. The taste of life had me right up all night, high in the sky like planes when they fly. Trying to get a glimpse of heaven, knew what I was missing. But then the prophet said, wisdom and understanding is your blessing. Money is the root of all your stressing. The power that lies within, that's the spirit. Take heed, don't dare miss it. Like fathers walking out on their children, walking into hell's kitchen. 666, what numbers you bearing? It's that holy grail, holy seventh Sabbath day. I pray I don't travel in the winter, all my girl gets sucked. Cause greater than the days of Noah, these last days.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
I got the 1611 in my lap. Evil spirits lurking around me, so I gotta light a match. World War III, pray my Aki got my back. By Hashimba, rock a thumb, raise my fist and give them dap. These internet prophets got me logging on my Mac. If you only preaching on the internet, it's all cap. If you only preaching on the internet, it's all caps. LOZ, we in the trenches, air Sabbath, that's a fact. Holding posts at they camp till my stomach get a cramp. Trying to save a couple souls right before these clouds crack. The law was a light, so I'm shining like a lamp. Write these scriptures on my heart, Lord, I need that holy stamp. I'm patiently waiting, eyes on the kingdom, we ready to take it. If you scared, go to church, cause it's about to get dangerous. Open up the book of law, where the heathen is painted. Got that frankincense burning while I'm thumbing through pages in
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
It's that frankincense and myrrh burn. 777, Yahweh shall gon' return. Take the kingdom of heaven. Pharisees, you wicked, misinterpret the scriptures. Took millions out your congregation trying to get richer. My main man who put me in the truth is down with you. All praises to the occupant, LOZ to reconfigure. Walking the narrow path, praying to become destined. Have faith in this personification will be a blessing. Metaphorically spitting this truth, giving them facts. We stay strapped, apocryphas and Bibles on our backs. They want us eradicating the hood, giving us crack. Matter of fact, we gonna put Edom up in the trap. Trigger killing my brothers like bombing the Taliban. We got next nuclear warfare on Babylon. Revelation coming soon, another Vietnam. Look out for the whistle, hit you with a missile and a bomb.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
As I'm flipping through these scriptures, breaking down the parable, when that revelation hit you, how you feeling so hysterical, but now I get the picture. I wait for his return. Thank you, y'all, for the baptism of this wisdom that I learned as my frankincense is burned. I'm meditating heavy on these laws, all that folly talk, I'm really not concerned. Completion number 7, that 144 cages do doing what it take to earn my rightful place in heaven. Woe unto you, reverence. Scouting all our people selling lies in your Sunday service. This should be illegal. Deception, what they feed you. It leave you so confused. The reason why I'm always studying to show thyself approved. Israel who he choose. I'm counting all my blessings. When you got nothing to lose, there's no reason to be stressing. I always stay secluded with fringes on my shirt, meditating on these scriptures, burning frankincense and myrrh.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
Okay. You know how that go though? I said, you know how that go though? Since I came in this truth, my people don't treat me the same. They love me at my worst, but now they hate what I became. I put my salvation before the money and the fame. Lost some partners on the way, but I just shot that to the game. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. People smile in your face, but they be wicked and they phony. Tell me who should I fear? What the 1611 on me?
When I was on the corner selling drugs with the thugs, popping bottles in the club, everybody showed me love. But since I came in this truth, my people don't treat me the same. When they see me with my fringes on, they looking at me strange. I guess they hate what I became, but I just charge it to the game. I just stay up in my lane and I will never be ashamed. My new 357 is my 1611, and I always keep it on me, so I'm never feeling lonely. You gon' learn, homie. My own family done turned on me. It's like I'm all alone. Yahweh keep me strong through this long journey. They love me more when I was wicked. We must prepare for war, this holy battle, so addicted. Now they looking like what happened when they listen to me rapping, cause I'm bringing out the truth up in the booth and still snapping. I pray that I stay focused, cause my people around me hopeless. Ever since I started keeping the commandments, I just noticed.
Since I came in this truth, my people don't treat me the same. They love me at my worst, but now they hate what I became. I put my salvation before the money and the fame. Lost some partners on the way, but I just shot that to the game. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. People smile in your face, but they be wicked and they phony. Tell me who should I fear? What the 1611 on me?
Lord, please protect me from my fake friends. Lord, please forgive me for my wicked sins.
Fake love, fake friends, only friends for occasions. You my friend when I got it all. Please stop the faking. Please don't fake the funk when you come around me. I prove them first, I got the scriptures. Yeah, my script is on me. Study up, look it up. Fake the funk and I cut it up. Check my resume, I'll cut you off. I see you texting, I reject the call. Secret message, you want all my business. Just to laugh and go tell it all. Try to tell you can't hit Shabbat. Now you miss when I text a call. You a surfing, I see you lurking, I see you working. You gon' be hurting. Tell me what's your purpose. Throw all the shade like you a curtain. You acting fake. That's certain, that's certain. Are you real or are you fake? Are you heathen or are you Jake? If you celebrate pagan holidays, no thanks, I don't wanna play. Real friend, I'll hold it down. 100 soldiers, that's no clowns. 200 boots when we hit the ground. I came in this truth, my people don't treat me the same. They love me at my worst, but now they hate what I became. I put my salvation before the money and the fame. Lost some partners on the way, but I just shot that to the game. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. People smile in your face, but they be wicked and they phony. Tell me who should I fear? What the 1611 on me?
A man
last foe should come from out of his house, so you can't trust the soul. The wise keep if they mouth closed. My eyes open as I sleep, gotta stay woke and meditate on scriptures a Christian could never dare quote. They say I changed, as I say that was some air quotes. I'm acting strange since I ain't sinning and raising hell, yo. You should stick together like them jabos with Velcro. Now you need some whenever you hit my cell phone. His speech was smooth, but deep in his heart was war. For more have died from the tongue than the edge of the sword. I know they hate me just for your name's sake, but Lord, I'd rather die before I ever start keeping these laws. I swear my family members getting sick of me. Gave them back all of the presents under the Christmas tree. Praying that Yahweh shine don't put their blood on the leaves. But Lord knows I ain't perfect. God
Since I
mercy
came
on
in this
me.
truth, my people don't treat me the same. They love me at my worst, but now they hate what I became. I put my salvation before the money and the fame. Lost some partners on the way, but I just shot that to the game. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. You used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. People smile in your face, but they be wicked and they phony. Tell me who should I fear? What the 1611 on me?
Khan. All praises to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. All praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the building. Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the chat. All praises to the Most High, the Wadi Yahweh, for protecting our families going out and coming in. All praise to the Most High. We have a very edifying video we about to go into today. All praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The mighty Akim from the Light of Zion will introduce himself. Hallelujah.
Khan, all praises. Shalom, shalom. This is Captain Kadash from the Light of Zion. Hallelujah.
Khan. All praise to the Most High. This is Captain Kairam from the Light of Zion. Hallelujah.
Khan, hallelujah. This is Captain Nathaniel Allah from the Light of Zion. Hallelujah.
Khan. This is Officer Asher from the Light of Zion. Khan.
All praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. If you're just tuning in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Right. Make sure you share the video to all your families and friends. Right. All praise to the Most High. And if it's on your spirit, cash out $7 to LOZ Lee County. We're in the process of trying to build a school, not just build a school, but maintain a school. Right. Have a school where we can bring our people to have weekly lessons, weekly Shabbat classes, where we can teach our people in truth and sincerity the truth of the Most High, the word of the Most High, right? So all the donations that's given is to help build a school, right? Having a place where we can help build and grow our youth and develop families and build our community, right? So every dollar counts. We appreciate everybody that continues to send in donations, right? $7 to LOZ Lee County, $7 to LOZ Lee County. All praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? Khan. All right, one moment. Khan, all praises. All right, so we're about to get right into it. Right before we get started, we're going to open up the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Khan. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adawan Yahweh, giving thanks to the Adawan and the Father by him.
Khan, so everything that we do in word or deed, we do it to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. Right, so we're gonna jump right into it. We see what's going on, right? If you're new to the channel, if you're just tuning in, this is pretty much our camp spot where we teach downtown in Lee County and Lehigh Acres. Right, we teach there pretty much every Shabbat day. Right, sometimes we teach there on Fridays. Right, late at night, early in the day. Right, but this is pretty much the place that we set up camp pretty much every weekend. Right, and we see what's going on. Right, this happened actually, if I'm not mistaken, the 30th. That was last weekend, Khan. That was last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So we see what's going on. Khan. So we about to play this video and get right into it. Right. It says, man hospitalized after fight leads to shooting in downtown Fort Myers. Right. So we see what's going on here. Right. We see what's going on. This is where brothers teach on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, right? We see what's going on, right? This is exactly where our camp spot is, right? Just to give you a little bit more of a perspective on where exactly this is, right? I'm gonna pull up one of our recent videos that shows us in this exact location, right? Pull something up right quick, right? Y'all see what's going on. All right, I should have had that queued up already, but that's how we're gonna keep going moving forward, right? So let me play this right here.
An investigation is underway after shots rang out in downtown Fort Myers.
It's a story we brought you as breaking news last night. Wink News reporter Jolina Esperto arrived on scene as police were still there. She joins us live now. And Jolina, what have investigators told you so far about the case?
Right now, all Fort Myers police has confirmed is that one person was shot following a dispute between two groups around 10:30 Saturday night. I spoke with the Cabos Cantina manager who told me the victim works there and was on his way home from his shift when this happened.
People looking in disbelief and terror after witnessing a man get shot in downtown Fort Myers. This is video of him being loaded into an ambulance Saturday night.
It was kind of weird to see who shot the fire, but somebody dropped the gun, they threw it out in the street. Somebody went to grab it and they kicked it away, and then the cops showed up.
Zachary Gray Kelly says he saw two different groups of men on bikes fighting with each other before shots rang out.
Like there was a bunch of guys tussling on each other, and next thing you know, I heard like a pop, and I bend down. And then I look over and the guy's like, I'm all right. I'm like, no, you're not. You just got shot.
I asked people if they're worried when they come downtown.
It's pretty ordinary. People get shot up at the clubs down here often.
Michael Parnacelli and Bob Wise vacation here frequently from up north.
The fact that you can't be out in a place like this, and it's so historic, and so, it looks like they've revitalized quite a bit. And if you've got to worry about this, what's the point?
The world is getting more dangerous. You just have to keep aware of your surroundings these days.
I mean, it was within a split second. Before you knew it, everybody was running the opposite direction.
One event doesn't mean that the whole town is, in trouble, but it sounds like there's been a bit of a pattern of these, and I think the sooner they get their arms around it, the better.
Fort Myers police has not told us anything about any arrest made yet. Now, if you are a witness or know any information as to what happened last night, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers or Fort Myers police.
So you see it, right? We got the Edison Theater. That's the exact same place where we teach at, right? I just want to pull up this video right quick, just to give that perspective, because this just show the perspective of how close, right? How close we were in this environment, right? Let me just pull this up. Brothers can see my screen. Come, right? So we see this is the same corner, same area, right? Right? This is the same area, right? We're not saying it's the same night, but this is the same area that we teach at, man. Right?
And Salaki, I just want to add this. I'm not sure if you were going to tell the story. I don't know if you already told it or not.
Nah.
It's crazy how the Most High works, right? Because this night we got redirected somewhere. All right. One of the brothers called us. We were literally on our way to this location to teach this night. And one of the brothers called us and said, hey, we got another event going down in such and such location. Can we check it out? Literally.
Salaki, Cap.
Go ahead.
We were actually driving down the street, remember?
Con. We were about to park up and everything. We're right where we usually park to teach in the same location. The brother called us at the last minute and said we got another spot to go to. So we checked it out and we ended up staying there that night. And not only to mention this area right here that you see behind this lady, whenever it rains in this area, like we'll stand under here. And that night it started raining. And if you look at the video, this is the exact spot where we would be standing teaching, because it would be sprinkling or raining or whatever the case might be. Somebody gets shot in this same area. These things, and I try to tell Israelite, when you look at our forefathers and things like that, a lot of things that the Most High did Our people thought that was coincidence, or they thought it was a miracle, but these
Right.
things are not a coincidence. When the Most High moves you out of the way like that, you really got to give him all praise, honor, and glory. Because the Most High and his angels are truly, that's a real thing. These are real spirits you're messing with. And you got to respect it.
Con, that was last week. That's so crazy, man.
Last week.
Con, I got a quick precept too.
Go ahead, bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Most High directeth his steps.
Con, that's a powerful precept, right? The Most High directs the steps of righteous men who strive to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. He's going to direct their steps. He's going to remove them out of harm's way. He's going to be the one that say, you know what? I don't want you here that night. We didn't even know, right? We thinking it's a normal day. We going to camp, 2 minutes before we park up. We're literally in the area about to park, and the brother called us last minute and say, hey, no, we got another event down the street. And we don't usually teach in that spot we went to last week. So that's the crazy part. All right, it just happened to be an event going down, and we ended up teaching there. So when we see things like this happening, you can't think that this is a coincidence. This is the Most High doing his work. He's protecting the righteous. Not only that, he's showing us his power. So when he's put destruction in certain areas, he takes us out of the way. All right.
Con King, and that's a powerful thing that you mentioned. It's kind of like just like when we was in Egypt, right? We seen the plagues happening, right? We seen the different plagues happening. We seen the destruction that the Most High was doing against the Egyptians, but the Israelites, they were protected, right? They didn't feel the same. They didn't feel the wrath of the Most High, right? They were in peace. You see what I'm saying? So destruction can be going on, but the Most High still has that hedge of protection around those that keep the commandments of God and that faith in the Mashiach Yahushua.
Con. And like mentioned, not to go on a tangent out, right? Just a quick story. So I remember a couple of years ago when I had to go out of town, I went to Tennessee. And I don't know if anybody recalls, but at this time, literally that same week, we live in Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area. That same week, the airport ended up getting shot up, right? I could have literally been in that same spot. Like, I'm looking and I'm like, man, that could have been wild, right? It was literally, I think it was the day before, the day after I left that area. But to make a long story short, it just goes to show you that the Most High literally removes you out of those areas. That could have been any of us. But he said he's going to protect the righteous. I got a precept I want to bring out. This is Psalms chapter 91. We read this all the time. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. When you abide under the shadow of the Almighty, he protects you. Right?
Con.
It's that secret place, meaning they can't find you. And this is why it's so important to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. This is why it's so important, to do what God is telling us to do, because these people are not protected. When you outside and you don't believe, you're not walking in the steps of the Most High, right? It's free game. You don't know when destruction is going to rain down, especially in these times that we live in, right? You go to the grocery store, you run a chance of getting shot up, right? You outside, you run a chance of getting shot up.
Go to Walmart.
You run a chance of getting shot up. Imagine you go to the grocery store to get some eggs and cheese. You think you about to cook an omelet when you get home, but you never make it back home. Because somebody want to come through and light up the place for whatever reason, right? They might have their own, they might have their own motives, but we know what the Most High is doing, man. The Most High is the one putting these evil spirits in the earth. The Most High is the one putting these spirits on certain people. And it's to show us, like, listen, man, we got to get right. If we're not getting right, it's free game. It's like we just hogs, man. They hunting us down. So we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. This stuff is important.
Con, and it's powerful too. I was in Psalms the 91st chapter too, but I was at verse 11. I'm gonna read it real quick. Or I'll start at verse 10. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. You know, so that's letting you know that the angels are keeping us, are protecting us at all times, man. Most High willing. The angels are looking at all the ways that we moving and how we doing it, and they have charge. The Most High gave them command to be to be over us, to cover us. You know, giving the angels charge over us, right? So that's a beautiful thing that, you know, the Most High is definitely protecting us, because in any other situation, if we wasn't keeping the commandments and we went downtown every weekend, that could have been us, you know. So it's a beautiful thing, like, and there's definitely no coincidence in that at all, because we go there every Saturday, and then this one Saturday there happens to be a parade, and then we happen to see it, and then we happen to go.
Conan, you know, speaking on can y'all hear me?
Con, go ahead.
You sound clear, Art. All
Okay,
praises.
just making sure to water. But Con, speaking on what Captain Kadash brought out, you know, talking about going to Walmart and somebody wanting to light the place up. Just recently, near where we frequently teach, well, headquarters frequently teaches at the Walmart off of Oakland and 441, there was a shooting inside of there. Then directly across the street from it, there was a shooting at the in the plaza right there. So,
Con, and Salaki, not to cut you off, but
the
I
spiritual
want to
speak, you know,
mention this
they
too.
being moved. Go ahead, Cap.
Salaki, not to cut you off, but I want to mention it. The school that we have in Fort Lauderdale and Broward teaches at this same location at the Walmart. They teach in the same part. They teach in the same area where this shooting went down, right? But we happen not to be in the area at the same time. But go ahead, Salakia.
Con, all praises. That's you know, and that's just a testament that the Most High is with us, right? I got a precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse 16. It says, "For the eyes of the Most High are upon them that love Him," and we know that loving the Most High means keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. It says, "He is their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat and cover from the sun at noon, a preservation from stumbling, and help from falling." The Most High is, you know, He's been with us, you know, and like Cap said earlier, there's no such thing as coincidence, right? These are things. This is spiritual warfare, right? Spiritual warfare, and just like, you know, any military, they do reconnaissance and things like that, right? They send people out to check out what's going on, and they'll change the game plan or change the mode of attack or whatever. The Most High changed the game plan for us that night. He directed our steps out of the way of danger and blessed us to go and teach the word to our people, because a lot of times when we go down there, it's like Basra, right? But he directed our steps in another direction, and I believe that it was Esau that got caught up, because the funny thing about that report was they never went into detail, right, about who it was. Normally, if it's us, they're gonna put a picture up, or they're gonna insinuate some kind of way that it's us. So I believe it was Esau that got it. And all praises to the Most High for that.
Con, and I also had a precept I wanted to bring out. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Right? So keeping the commandments of the Lord, we see that echoed throughout the scriptures. Keeping the commandments of the Most High, having faith in the Most High and His Son, that brings you protection. You have that hedge of protection around you. You have those angels protecting your going out and coming in, right? The Most High understands. The Most High said He declared the end from the beginning. Therefore, He knows your steps. He directs your steps, right? He gets you out of harm's way. The scripture says, in the heart discerneth both time and judgment, meaning what? When it comes to time and judgment, right, those go hand in hand. Right? Time and judgment goes hand in hand. Right? The Most High will take you out of a situation right before it happens. Right? Because that's just how the Most High works, man. Right? The same road that you was just driving on 5 minutes ago got a 3-pile car crash. Right? These things happen. The Most High is real, man. The Most High is the orchestrator. Right? The Most High directs our steps. It's very important we understand that. There's nothing by coincidence, man. right? This is said, look at the person on the stretcher that looks like Esau, right? It's definitely the Idumean, right? Right? Definitely the Idumean, right? The Most High, he protects us, man. That's definitely an Idumean, right? And when we go down there, just to give y'all perspective, right? We dealing with our people, right? But you also got them biker gangs out there, right? The skinheads, the Proud Boys, right? So we know what type of time they on. You see what I'm saying? Right? But we come out there being wise, right? We understand that the Most High will protect us and we will protect ourselves, right, by any means necessary, right? But this is just another testimony that the Most High established in Jacob, right? The Most High talks about how he established things in Jacob, right? What he did for the children of Israel in Egypt, right? That's a testimony that he established in Jacob, right? We cannot forget these things. The Most High does these things for a reason and as a reference, right? If you ever feel, oh, I don't know if the Most High is dealing with me, I don't know if the Most High is still hearing my prayers, right? These things remind you that the Most High is still dealing with you, man. That the Most High still has a hedge of protection around you, right? That he still has favor and grace and mercy upon you, man. And all that happens because we have faith in the Most High and his Son. And we keep his commandments, right? And I yield on that. But Khan, I want to bring out the classic, right? We read this every Shabbat day, right? Psalms 121. I'll get straight to the point, right? Psalms 121. One of my favorite prayers to send up, right? Psalms 121. I'll start at verse 7. It says, "The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul." All right, when we go outside, we're not worried about nothing. We don't got to wear a bulletproof vest, right? We know the Most High has his angels to protect the righteous, right? Verse 8, "The Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore." That's the insurance policy that the Most High has for the children of Israel that keeps the commandments, right? That's the true life insurance, right? The Most High protects you when you keep his commandments. He protects your going out and coming in when you keep his commandments and have faith in the Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, right? The Most High is the one that guides our steps, right?
Khan, and I had another precept. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6 and verse 16. "Don't be afraid," the prophet answered. "Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Right? Talking about those angels, man. You know, they're protecting us. It may be one or two of us, 5 of us out there compared to hundreds of them.
Khan.
But they don't see the hundreds and thousands of angels with us.
That's right.
You know what I'm
saying? That's a powerful point, Cap. We got 5 brothers out there. We 5 deep, right? We 5 deep. You got over hundreds of people coming out the club, intoxicated, drunk, got that fire on them, right? But we out here bold as a lion with the word of the Most High, man. Because the Most High protects those that keeps the commandments of the Lord, man. Right? Con.
And on the contrary, you know, the Most High, he's gonna punish those that are wicked, right? This is Job chapter 21 and verse 17. It says, "How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God, the Most High, distributed sorrows in his anger," right? The Most High, somebody's family member is crying. Somebody's children or old lady is crying. Mother, father is crying, right? Because of the wickedness of their people, because of the wickedness of that individual. The Most High will put your light out, and he does it often. And it always seems to happen when we're not present, right? Because the Most High is looking out for us, but that destruction is going to come, and he makes it happen pretty often, right? But that's what happens when you're wicked. That's what happens when you're born wicked. That's what happens when you're caught up in wickedness, right? No matter where you are, who you're from, what tribe you're from, what nation you're from, the wicked will always be judged by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua.
Con, and another thing too, yeah, we've been out there, man, prophesying for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of stuff been happening out there. They got hit with a whole hurricane. People getting shot out there, and we nowhere to be found when the madness is happening to them. You know,
Crazy.
And I really and truly believe, you know, the Most High is definitely hearing what's going on and how they be coming at us sometimes. and recompensing them for the things that they do to us. You know, so we don't even got to lift a finger. And like I always say, man, we just watch the movie. You know, you do your job, and the Most High gonna do right by you. You just keep watching the movie.
I got a precept I want to bring out.
I also got a precept too.
I'll bring this up. It's Second Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, "But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil." Right. So when we talk about being a friend of the Most High and doing what the Most High told us to do, these are the things that He can do for us. When destruction come, when evil come, because we know that when destruction comes, it's the Most High, and I'll prove that in a second. And we know these things come, He say He's gonna remove us from it. He's the one that establishes us, right? If we're His servant, why wouldn't He want to protect us? Think about that. It's like if we work for the Most High, if we're faithful employees, if you got an employee that work for you and they just go hard for you, right? They the one staying late, waking up early, that they checking the balances, doing everything you ask them to do. Why would you want to get rid of that employee? It's the same concept. If you're a manager or a director, you're gonna keep that employee close to you, right? Because they're doing the work for you. They're trying to build something. They're trying to build the organization. So, for example, we're trying to build the kingdom, right? Trying to build that mindset, allowing people to repent, right? So the Most High keeps us close to Him. So the ones that He establishes, these are the ones that He's going to keep evil away from, all right? I got one more I wanted to bring out. Let me get Amos. Give me 1 second. Let me go back here. I think that's Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid, or not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?" Right? So that's that same God that everybody claims loves everybody. That's that same God that they think is going to play patty cake with everybody when He send the angels back in the earth, right? It's the same God we talking about. Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? La. The Most High did these things. When He creates evil, He creates these messengers against the rebellious to go out and do destruction. He's going to remove the servants. He's going to remove the righteous ones. He's going to remove His friends. And that's what we rely on, man. Because when you out in them streets, the Most High is the only protection you got. I don't care how many, when you outside and you talking to our people, the Most High has to be your only protection. I don't care how many guns you got, how many knives you got.
That's right.
How many weapons you got. You know for a fact, it's like you put yourself in a position where it's like you have nobody else to rely on but the Most High to get out of this situation. And that's the beauty of it. All right, you got to have faith in the Most High to do these things. That's why you don't see pastors outside. Where we at, you don't see pastors outside like that. I've yet to see Islamic brothers, Muslim brothers. I've yet to see pastors. I've yet to see them in the areas that are downtrodden, where there's murderers, pimps, robbers, prostitutes, right? I've yet to see them boys outside.
Con, I ain't seen no bean pies in a minute.
Right. I have not seen the bean pies. I have not seen the bow ties. I haven't seen any of that. They outside in the middle of the day when it's safe. But what about when our people outside, the ones that need it, the ones that are sick, right? They're not worried about them. They go outside where it's safe. We going to the people where we need to grab them and snatch them from the fire, right? But go ahead, obviously, I should bring out your precept.
I wanted to get the precept. Let me see. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 105, and verse 15, saying, I'm gonna start at Salat. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Verse 8. He hath remembered His covenant forever, the word which He commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant He made with Abraham, and His oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying unto thee, I will give thee the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. And when they but a few men in number, yea, very few, and strangers in it, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. And just like the most, and I give all honor and praise to the Most High, because no man has done harm unto us. No man has ever tried to do. They have tried, but the Most High never allowed them to lay hands on His anointed. So we always got to give honor and praise to the Most High for that. You know what I'm saying? So I yield at that point.
God, I think that was very powerful. You know what I'm saying? When it talks about not touching the anointing, man, that goes a long way. That's heavy. That's heavy. All right. What do you got to do to be anointed? What do you got to do to be a servant? Right. You got to follow in the steps that the Most High has laid forth. All right. Scripture talk about these commandments being like it's a narrow path. You can't go to the right. You can't go to the left. Whenever we start going to the right or to the left, you could end up like anybody outside like this. Right. The Most High does not forsake the ones that strive after Him.
I also got a precept for that. I just want to make sure, did anybody get Sirach 33:1 by any chance?
Bring it out.
I'll bring it out anyway. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Most High, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is an hypocrite therein is a ship in a storm. So basically, what this precept is talking about is that whoever fear the Most High or give unto respect and keep His commandments, you know what I'm saying? He shall not find harm. You know what I'm saying? He'll be delivered from the evil, just like how we were delivered from the evil when we went to that other place, and we had peace while going there. I got another precept. This is the book of Psalms. On top of that, 1 second.
I want to bring out a point that you made in that last precept, because you said the ones that don't do it, it's like a ship in a storm.
Right.
When you think about a ship in a storm, it's like that's a rough way to live. Right. Think about you on a ship. Everything you do, it's like normally you just can't do it. You can't make that. You can't cook on the ship that's like in the waves like that. Right. You can't iron your clothes. Can't take a shower. Can't use the bath. Everything is just chaotic.
One thing too. If you in a ship, you're not directing anything. The water is directing you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
So you really have no control of anything going on that ship, and you in a storm. Whereas we have control as far as us keeping the commandments. For the most part, Most High willing.
Right. That's a very good point. And a lot of people live that type of life. It's like the things that happen in their life, it's like they have no control over it. It's just one bad problem after another. One bad problem after another. And it's just like a ship that's in a storm. But they don't understand why these things keep happening to them. Scriptures say that a man, Salaki, let me get it real quick.
Asher, you gotta mute your mic.
Oh, Salaki.
Let me get this precept real quick.
While you getting that, I was gonna get this precept real quick because I was going into, the Israel has great peace when we keep the laws. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 165. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. You know what I'm saying? So when we keep the law, statute, commandments, we find great peace. No destruction or no harm shall come onto Israel when we're keeping the law, statute, commandments, but we'll find peace in the end. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will never won't allow us to go in a path of destruction as long as we're keeping the law, statute, commandments. But once we slip or fall into temptation, now you may be subject onto that destruction. You know what I'm saying? So I yield with that point.
All right, let me bring out this real quick that I was trying to get. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 5. It says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. So going back and to tie it all together, what I was saying about, being that ship in the storm or the water, right? It's like you don't understand why all of this is going on. You don't understand why it's just chaotic. You don't understand why all these things just keep happening. That's just not. It's like outside of your control. You can't do nothing. Because, right, scriptures say evil men understand not judgment. You're getting judged for the things you have been doing. A lot of times, right? Now, we know there's multiple reasons for this. You could be going through the furnace of adversity that's mentioned in Sirach chapter 2. All right, you could be going through the chastisement of the Most High. The Most High got to chastise you, right? Or you could just be receiving straight judgment from the Most High, and you don't know why it's going on because you just live in an evil and wicked way. All right, so all of these things, as we come back into the law, statutes, and commandments and have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, we got to keep these things in mind. All right, all of these things that we're learning, the things that we see here, right, it's for us to understand the power of the Most High and the glory of the Most High, and it shall not be taken lightly. We got to think about these things. We got to meditate on these things. Okay, the Most High removed me out of that situation when I know I was supposed to be there. And he kept me out of harm's way. You got to thank the Most High for that. All right? These things shall not be taken lightly.
Con, I had a precept on it to bring out as well. Just going into, powerful precepts was brought out. Just going into how the Most High, feels about the children of Israel, man. The scriptures talk about when we are afflicted, he's afflicted, right? The pain that we go through, right? He goes through the same pain, right? That's why the Most High says we are the apple of his eye, right? He sees us as his special people, right? This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. It says, for thus saith the Most High of hosts, after the glory has he sent me unto the nations. So like, y'all start from the top. For thus saith the Most High of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. Right, showing you what the Most High, anybody that touches us, the Most High takes that personal, man. Right? The Most High takes that personal. That's why we don't got to come out there with, different type of, things out there, you know what I'm saying? We could be protected because the Most High has that protection for us, right? He says, touch not mine anointed to do my prophets no harm, like with the powerful precept that Asher brought out, right? It's book of Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. It says, the Most High shall fight for you and ye shall hold your peace, right? So we won't got to lift a finger, man. The Most High has his angels around us, right? He shall fight for us and we shall hold our peace, man. Right, the Most High protects the steps of the righteous. Con, and I yield on that.
Con, can I hear?
Go ahead, Con.
Con, just to let me back on what the powerful captain just said. I'm speaking in terms of the Most High being there for us and protecting us. He's going to be there for his righteous, the ones that keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And it's mentioned, throughout the scriptures. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, "For the Most High, your power is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you." And that's what he did. He saved us. And he saves us on many occasions. When you think on it, he saves us every day, because guess what? Just like word to paid in full, people die every day, so
right.
we're not one of them. The Most High is always with us, and he's always protecting us, encamping righteous angels of protection around us at all times. So we have to be thankful for that, and we need to use that as motivation to continue to stay in the law, statutes, and commandments and walk in righteousness.
And to stay in the Most High's, good graces, right? The Most High says he will be gracious unto who he will be gracious to, right? He will show mercy unto who he show mercy to, right? So it's not something that we really have any control over for the Most High to bless us with his protection and his favor and things like that, right? That's something that he blesses us with just because we are serving him, right? By our obedience, right? By our faith towards him, right? That's all we really can do. right? But the Most High ultimately is the one that can protect us, man. Right? Con, and I'm gonna go ahead and read the article, get into the article. All right.
Con, go ahead.
Con. Right. So it says, let me try to blow it up a little bit. It says, 1 second. It says a Saturday night in downtown Fort Myers went very wrong after a man was shot outside the Lucky Screw following in an argument. According to the Fort Myers Police Department, the shooting happened around 10:30 p.m. The manager of Cable's says the victim was on his way home from a shift before the shooting. He was taken to the hospital afterward. Nearby witnesses say there was violence leading up to the gunfire. Zachary Gray Kelly says he saw two different groups of men on bikes fighting with each other beforehand. It was kind of weird to see whose shot was fired, Kelly said, but somebody dropped the gun. They threw it out on the street. Somebody went to grab it and they kicked it away. There was a bunch of guys, like, tussling on each other. Pause. And next thing you know, I've heard like a pop, and I've been down, and I've been down, and then I look over, and the guy's like, "I'm all right." I'm like, "No, you're not. He's just shot you," said an unnamed witness. I feel like the stories are told to me that it's pretty ordinary. People get shot up at clubs down here often, Kelly said. Before you knew it, everybody was running in the opposite direction. Michael Parsinelli and Bob Weiss often vacation to Fort Myers from up north. The fact that you can't be out in a place like this and it's so historic, it looks like they revitalized quite a bit. And you've got to worry about this, what's the point? What he pretty much said right there in this instance right here, right? What he said right here, it's pretty historic, it's revitalized. He said this type of this is what he's saying. He's saying this activity only happens, right, when niggas is around. Let's just keep it frank. Let's just keep it a buck.
That's exactly what
Let's just keep it a buck.
Bring it out, Cap.
They revitalized quite a bit. This is not the hood. Why do we have shootings? Right? And if you got to worry about this, what's the point? What's the point of revitalizing a place and making a place look all nice if we're just gonna be like niggas? That's all he's saying. Right? That's all he's saying. He said, take that downtown.
It's funny to me too, because we know exactly who they referring to down the street. The brother, they got all these bikers that hang out down the street. Right. It's like they keep it so like they keep it like they're not putting the full story, I feel like. Mm-hmm. All right. If this was Jake, like you said, they would have the brothers' pictures up. They got names all over the place. But because these are biker boys,
right.
Because they're the biker boys and they're fighting, they trying to keep it like on the hush hush. They telling the story without telling the story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show you that, like, even when you talk about media, like you looked on the clip on the news, right? It's just the way they even telling the story. It's like they're not being real about the situation.
Right.
But that would have been a Jake outside, man. Trust me.
Right. Let that would have been us. Yeah, these brothers are always out here yelling at people. And yeah, I see them all the time. You know how many people come up to us and take pictures of us out?
Right.
No, we will be on the cover art. Yeah, those Negroes with the Bible. Right? They will know exactly what he's talking about. You telling me, and we go out there every night. You telling me they don't know what these biker dudes look like?
Same people that hang out every weekend.
Every weekend, they posted up in the same place every weekend, right?
Not only that, they got cameras everywhere in downtown.
Bring that out.
So how you telling me they didn't catch these people, man?
You got a bank down there, you got a club down there, you got restaurants down there, but there's no video footage of nothing, of Nathan.
They got cameras. They got cameras on every corner in that Fort Myers downtown area, and they couldn't catch nobody. That's cap, man.
Come on, man.
Right?
But we know that's cap, right? We know what's going on, right? We know what's going on. Somebody has to be protected, right? Somebody doesn't want to get hurt. We know what's happening, right? You know what I'm saying? You know they affiliated out there. You see what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to say too much, right? But that lets you know that same spot, man. It's not them, just them that's strapped out there. You know what I'm saying? There's everybody that's strapped out there, right? But we come out there, bold as a lion, man.
That's
Not
right.
worried about none of that, right? Con, let me finish this, right? Con, it says, one event doesn't mean that the whole town is in trouble, but sounds like there's been a bit of a pattern of these. And I think the sooner they get their arms around it, the better. The world is getting more dangerous, White said. You just have to be aware of your surrounding these days, right? Now that's true, right? That I mean, you can't, that's biblical as well, right? You got to be able to walk circumspect, right? Especially in these last days. They pulling up anywhere now. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying to be paranoid. Can somebody give me Ephesians 5 and 15? Right? I'm not telling people to be paranoid, right? But you got to be aware of your surroundings in these last days, man. You got to be aware of your surroundings on a daily basis, right? When you're getting out the car,
Con, I
when you're
got you.
parking, right? When you go into these different places, you got to be aware of your surroundings, man. Right? You got people that's crazy. We trust in the Most High. We have faith in the Most High, but you got people that's crazy, right? You don't know what type of day they having. You don't know how they moving, right? But you got to be aware of your surroundings, man. You got to be circumspect, like the scriptures say, especially in these last days, right? What we say in the world, you want to get caught slipping, right? You don't want to get caught slipping spiritually and physically, right? So let's get that Ephesians 5 and 15.
Con, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 15.
Right.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
But as wise, you don't want to be like a fool, not paying attention to your surroundings. Every time we outside, a brother is saying, gird up, a brother is making sure their head is on a swivel. Right? A brother have his back. He is, if your left, he gonna have you on your left, the brother's gonna help you on the right. Right? You got to have your head on a swivel, man. Right? Just that spiritual and physical war. Right? And before you continue, the sister said something powerful. She said the police wasn't posted that day. Right? Every time we out there teaching, every time we out there teaching, we got that one Edomite saying, "How you guys doing tonight?"
God,
hey, that's real.
I heard there was some commotion.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Right? I heard there was some commotion going on.
Right.
It's commotion when you read in the Bible. It's not commotion when you got bikers down the street. They're making the most noise, revving their engine, right? But y'all didn't hear that. Y'all was not doing y'all laps around the block when we teaching, right? That's when they doing the laps around the block. When we not there, they don't got to do the laps around the block.
Right.
We the dangerous one. We the gang. Right?
When I'm on post, I see this cop at least. Every 5 minutes, he'll stop in front of the camp, look at, make sure we're not crowding the sidewalk, and just clear it.
Talk about
how many times he done came up to, hello brothers, how you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm gonna ask, man.
Right.
Come on, bro. But that night he nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found, dog.
Insane.
Right. Nowhere to be found.
Hey, but you know where they were at? They were over there where we were teaching. They was over there where Jake was
wow.
Bring it up.
That's crazy. So hold on. I need you to go into detail on that because I don't think they realize what you just said, King.
The situation was there was a situation where a sister had passed and it was her birthday, and apparently, a lot of people in the city knew her, so they had like I guess what they call like a repast. I'm not exactly sure how they term it, but it was a gang of people, a gang of Jake, right? Out at the Stars Complex, I believe is what it's called. It's kind of like a community center, right? In Jake's neighborhood. And it was very similar to the Easter parade. Esau was everywhere. They were driving all through, driving around. Matter of fact, when we pulled up, if I'm not mistaken, when we pulled up and we was walking towards where everybody was, there was a car driving through and 2 police cars chasing, and they jumped out, and it was a bunch of girls, and they pulled the gun on us. Y'all remember that?
Con, I seen that.
Right. So Esau, they're gonna come wherever we are, and it's very similar. This is Esau's MO. When you look at, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but when you look at Esau and the way that they move, there's military bases in all over the world, and they're basically stationed all in the countries that don't agree with Esau, that aren't Esau, right? And then it's the same thing when you look at police substations in the United States. They're all in the hood, right? They all in our neighborhoods. They have these. They're not like full police departments, but they're little substations, and it's the same thing. So they're always policing us. But downtown in Basra, when we're not there, you got these bikers, like you said, they revving up their engines. They're basically gangs wearing jackets symbolizing who they are and what they do, and they're probably armed, and nobody says anything to them, right? But whenever you got Jake around, we just teaching the Bible, they be out in full force, riding around the corner every 5 minutes, walking up, right? Trying to find out what we're doing, making sure we're not standing in the street, making sure we're not making people walk out, around us outside the street. It's like, is that what y'all is getting paid for? That's what the taxpayers' money is paying for. Y'all need to be going and making sure there's no serial killers, because Esau loved to be serial killers and pedophiles, right, and all this other stuff. They don't police that; they police us.
Very, very powerful point. Very powerful point. You talk about there's no police presence. All the cameras stopped working that day. For sure when we out there, the cameras is working. When we out there, they got routines to make sure when we out there teaching, right? Doing laps, they doing circles around the camp spot. And every one of those cops that we usually see downtown, they was at the repass. And at that location, it damn near was the whole hood out.
That's real.
Right? It was pretty much like the Fort Myers parade in that one section, right? Mm-hmm. But that's where the cops was. That's where they were posted up at, right? While they mourning a family member, right? You got these thugs, right? These Edomite thugs, right? Right? They outside, right? They don't got to get policed, right? They don't got to get policed. They get a wave, right? They get saluted, right? But us, they got to post up, right? That's madness, man. But we know what's going on, right? We see what's going on. We aware of it, right? When that stuff go down, right? We understand we gonna stand bold as a lion. Right? We see how the Most High works, right? Come. All praise to the Most High, to the power of every Isaac and Jacob, right? So we see what's going on, man, and we gonna be out, Most High willing, right? Not next week going, but Most High willing, we gonna be out there again, right? And we gonna just speak on it. We gonna talk about it, right? Why y'all have all this effort for us when we teaching the Bible, right? When you got our people out there trying to just celebrate life, right? But when it comes down here, y'all don't have that same type of energy, man. Right? Right? You see the madness, right? Asking, do you have a permit? Right?
Tell them more. Shabbat.
Say it again, King. You kind of cut out. I think he's Salakia. Can y'all hear Captain Zamar?
But I think he was trying to allude to like what we got going on, the Unity Camp.
Okay, Khan, I'll praise to the Most High. So, family, we have a Unity Camp tomorrow. It's called the Brown Sugar Festival, right? The Brown Sugar Festival in Clewiston, Florida, right? The Mighty Akim from LOZ will be outside teaching the word of the Most High in truth and sincerity and in boldness, right? So definitely look out for that as well. That's pretty much going to be an all-day event after the Shabbat service. And Most High willing, we can wake up the people and edify the people. All right, all praise to the Most High, to the power of everybody can Jacob. Right, the water for everybody that sent donations. While he's on stream, we definitely appreciate every donation. If it's on your spirit, continue to donate that $7 to build that school. We definitely want to build a school for our people, man. Right, we want to have that place, that nucleus in Fort Myers, so we can bring different people from across Florida, so we can build our congregation and make that little sanctuary for the children of Israel. Right, all praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right, said Google. Right, we see what's going on. All right. Anybody had any last words?
I think we good. All praise to the Most High.
Khan, hallelujah. All praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Khan, all praise to the Most High, to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The water for everybody that's tuning in. We appreciate everybody that continues to like, share, and subscribe, right? That show love to our people, right? We appreciate everybody that continues to tune in. And with that, we say shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel and death and destruction to Babylon. Shalom. Hallelujah.
Shalom. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.